But if you know anything about Egyptian parents, you don't negotiate with them. Just like terrorists, you don't negotiate with them.
Welcome to the Real Estate Secrets Podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Commercial Real Estate Secrets. I'm your host, Austin Hare. And our guest today is Dr. Tarek Ali, and he's the CEO and co-founder of Orthodent. Now, they were founded in 2012. They currently have 12 locations. And he's also the co-owner of Modern Smiles, which has 8 locations. Both are located in Austin, Texas, which is a great spot for DSOs. And so, Tarek, it's a pleasure to have you on the show today.
It is a pleasure to be here with you, Austin. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So, did you now in the DSO space? A lot of people, relocate to Texas. Now, did you relocate here specifically and intentionally, or are you from the area?
No, I'm actually originally Egyptian from the land of the pyramids, believe it or not, and ended up in Texas 2007 for an MBA program, and then loved Texas and decided to stay here and keep growing.
My observation would be that the less control the government has and the less power they have, the more prosperous their people. Do you think that is true going from Egypt to America?
I 100% agree. And this is the basis of capitalism. The laissez-faire mentality, let the people be, and things will regulate themselves. If you force prices on the consumer, then corruption will happen and quality will go down.
Recently, I've started thinking about it in terms of decentralization, just with the whole cryptocurrencies that have been getting really popular. It's like when you take away control, like there is a system of checks and balances that inherently pop up. And that's, in the US, I think it's largely, I don't think we're any better people morally. I just think our government legislators have more checks and balances than other parts of the world. And so that's allowed us to thrive. But it sounds like you got your opportunity to travel a lot, even when you were growing up in Egypt.
Yes, I mean, traveling lets you, it's a window to see the world. You get the pros and cons in every nation you visit. You learn from your experiences. You get to meet new awesome people, and you get to explore business ideas and help your own personal and professional growth. So traveling is amazing.
I find that a lot of people in dental have some sort of family influences that were involved in the dental industry as well. Was that the case in your family, or was this something that was totally new for you?
So my parents are doctors, and my brother is too. And I didn't want to be a doctor, actually. I wanted to be a businessman or a pilot. But if you know anything about Egyptian parents, you don't negotiate with them. Just like terrorists, you don't negotiate with them. They tell you you're going to be a doctor like us and your brother. You have to say aye, aye, captain, which I did. And I chose dentistry because it was the shortest route to becoming a doctor. I really just wanted to be a businessman.
Wow.
After the first few years, I actually started liking it. It was great, especially when we started working on patients. And that's when I really fell in love with dentistry. Before then, the theoretical part I wasn't really a big fan.
I've known several people who are very entrepreneurial, who have chosen to go into medicine and become doctors so that they could start building and growing their businesses. And it's worked out phenomenally well, because it seems like a lot of times you get one or the other, right? Like you have the entrepreneurs who have the dream and the vision and the appetite for risk taking, but they don't necessarily have like the skill set. And so what happens is, if you're growing a DSO, or you're growing a urgent care or dermatology group practice, then there's a reluctance sometimes to give trust to the CEO, or there is almost like a rivalry, you know what I mean? Like, and so it's like, if you can link those two things together, you have both, then there's a ton of opportunity for growth. And it sounds like you've been able to do that.
I 100% agree with you. And those universities and schools and those disciplines in specifically medical, dental, and vet, they train you, or pharmacy as well. They train you how to be a good doctor. They train you on the technical aspect of it, what to look for, how to diagnose and treat, but they don't really teach you business. You don't know how to read a P&L. You don't know to balance your books. You don't know marketing, IT, procurement, all these things, compliance. You're not really a businessman, but you're a good doctor. And you think you're going to get out there in the world and start practicing and everything's going to be fine. But we're lacking that discipline or the business discipline, right? So having the business mind or a business degree or an entrepreneurial spirit drives you to that you want to understand the business aspect of it, and not just understand it, but you also want to grow.